A familiar name is back on top as Marc Marquez delivered a stunning performance in the first free practice session at the 2025 German Grand Prix. Under bright skies at the Sachsenring, the 8-time world champion showed he's still a force to be reckoned with, clocking the fastest time in FP1 and setting the pace for what promises to be an electrifying race weekend. Up next, a surprising twist. Valentino Rossi is said to have a secret plan to stop Marc Marquez from claiming his 10th world title. What exactly is Rossi planning? We'll break it down for you in the following video. Marc Marquez sets the fastest time in FP1 of the 2025 German MotoGP. The 11th round of the MotoGP season officially kicked off today, Friday, July 11, 2025, at the Sachsenring circuit in Germany. Nicknamed the King of Sachsenring, Marc Marquez once again showcased his speed during the FP1 session of the 2025 German MotoGP. The Ducati star rider managed to post the fastest time, beating out his closest rival, Jack Miller. Marquez was unstoppable in free practice 1, topping the timesheets ahead of Jack Miller and Marco Bezzecchi. On Friday afternoon at the Sachsenring circuit, Johann Zarco initially set the benchmark within the first 5 minutes of the session. Pedro Acosta then briefly claimed the top spot. Shortly afterward, Marc Marquez emerged from the Ducati garage and delivered a blistering lap time of 1 minute 20.372 seconds. The 8-time world champion clocked that time on his 7th lap, and it remained unbeaten until the end of the session. Jack Miller overtook Fabio Di Giannantonio in the final minutes to claim second place. Likewise, Marco Bezzecchi surged into third in the closing stages. Zarco and Maverick Vinales rounded out the top 5. Di Giannantonio, Joan Mir, and Fabio Quartararo placed 6th through 8th, respectively. Pecco Bagnaia, who had briefly held third place, had to settle for 9th by the end of FP1, finishing just ahead of Miguel Oliveira. Brad Binder and Firmin Aldiger took the 11th and 12th spots in this session. KTM's young and talented rider, Pedro Acosta, ended up 13th fastest. Meanwhile, Alex Marquez secured 14th place, following a hand injury he's been dealing with. Valentino Rossi's younger brother, Luca Marini, returned to the track after his serious crash in Japan, finishing 17th. And now, we present the full results of FP1 at the 2025 German MotoGP. Marc Marquez's success in the 2025 MotoGP season has put the Ducati rider within reach of a 9th title and even a 10th, according to senior MotoGP manager Carlo Pernat. Pernat, a former Aprilia boss and currently the manager of Enea Bastianini, stated that Valentino Rossi sees Pedro Acosta as the figure who could prevent Marc Marquez from clinching his 8th MotoGP title. Marquez, of course, has not yet won a 7th Premier Class title, which would tie him with Rossi in both Premier Class championships and overall Grand Prix titles across all categories, with 9. However, he heads into the 11th round of the 2025 MotoGP season this weekend with a 68-point lead over Alex Marquez, and a 126-point advantage over VR46 Academy rider and 3-time world champion Francesco Bagnaia. The Spanish rider, who had a storied rivalry with Rossi during the 2010s, will remain with the Ducati factory team in 2026, keeping him in a strong position to continue his dominance in the Premier Class, a dominance he has firmly asserted in the first half of 2025. The complication in what Rossi sees as a way to block Marquez from winning a 10th title lies in Acosta's current contract with KTM, which runs through the end of 2026. His contract isn't one that's easily broken, Pernat told Italian sports outlet MoW. We'll have to see what KTM does in the near future, because there are really a lot of moving pieces there. Pedro Acosta would definitely do anything for Ducati. And of course, both Ducati and Valentino Rossi would welcome him with open arms. I think Vale sees Pedro Acosta the way he once saw Marc Marquez, a young rival capable of preventing a great champion from reaching 10 titles. Will Rossi be able to persuade Pedro Acosta to join VR46 Racing for the 2026 season?